I'm back. Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Kiwanis Connects, coming to you live coast to coast. I'm in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and of course, Doc Val is out in Cali. John is in Las Vegas, and wherever you all are out there, that's where you are, right? Thank you for watching us today. Doc Val, how are you, my friend? I missed you last week.
I know, we missed you too, but you were doing something really heroic, so we couldn't fault you for that.
I was actually on the way to Washington, D.C. to MC a fundraising event, the second of three for the Foundation Fighting Blindness folks that raise funds for eye disease research. And this was the Washington, D.C. Event. Friday, I was on the road. Saturday was the event. And then next weekend, the third of the three, I'm actually going up to Baltimore to complete the hat trick and host their event up there as well. But the DC area for Foundation Fighting Blindness raised almost $200,000 in revenue. Here in Virginia Beach, the event that I hosted last month, they raised just under $50,000. And now we'll see what Baltimore does next week. And so, yeah, it's pretty exciting to be part of these kind of numbers. So, yeah, every once in a while, duty does call.
And, you know, it's so close to my heart because I have shared it several times during the show. When I was born, I had a rare eye condition. And so they had said by the time I was 30 that I would be blind. And because of technology and because of all the research that has happened, I don't even wear glasses anymore, and it's fabulous. Absolutely. And so what you're doing is beautiful. So
well,
thank you.
I appreciate that. Oh, absolutely. All right, enough about me. Joining me in studio this week, I have the guest here with me in Virginia Beach. Not only do I get to call her a dear friend, but she also happens to be the founder of a brand new nonprofit that has taken the world by storm, literally in the span of what, like 4 months, maybe? 9 months, and we had the Sisterhood Project. We gave birth to the Sisterhood Project. Laura Halcomb, plus she's also a business owner, not one, at least two businesses, a movable solution, a moving company, which she also not only helps people move, but she also helps people that need to move. And I'll put the word need in quotes as delicately as we can. She helps those people. And what's the other one? Yard sign? Lawn
card lady.
Lawn card lady. So, you know, when you have those like happy birthday, congratulations things out on the front yard with the pelicans and all of that, that's what she does too. So she doesn't let moss grow under her feet, Doc Val. She's like you, just constant motion.
I was going to say, she's my kind of woman. I am so glad you're here, Laura. This is awesome. Absolutely awesome.
So Laura's with us today because the Sisterhood Project, when you find out that there's males involved in this, it's sort of, there's some irony in that, and that kind of goes into the story. But before we get into how this all started, I really would like Laura, Doc, because I know you'll appreciate this. How did the seed for the Sisterhood Project start? And I think planting the seed and letting people know how this thing even became something before we get into the scope of it, I think is really important to share. So I hope, Val, that's okay. I really am I love the story. I think that's where we're going to start. Take it away, where you started this thing.
This all started as a college project. I found myself back in school for human services because I love to help people. So I wanted to expand my reach and I didn't know how I was going to do it. So I ended up back in college taking a Kingdom entrepreneurship class. And I was handed a $50 bill from my professor. And I was told to make a difference in our community.
Go ahead. And $50, folks. All right. I've got to stress that. $50. All right. But you had some parameters with that.
I did. Okay. Tons of them. And the main one that really hindered me was I could not include my own money. I've always stewarded my money correctly. And for one time, I couldn't include it. So I didn't know what I was going to do. I was like, man, $50. Like, I can't really do much with $50.
Or so you thought.
Or so I thought. The other thing was we couldn't monetarily just give it away. We couldn't buy someone food, couldn't pay any gambling debts or debts of our own. So the list goes on and on. There was quite a few rules. So in the middle of the night, one night I was sleeping, pondering to myself, like, what am I going to do with $50? Now I have someone else's money in my hand, and I feel very responsible to make something happen because it's someone else's money. So I sprung up in the middle of the night and remembered a young girl that I had checked into the victim house, freshly 18, thought I knew everything about life, just wanted to get out there and give back. And boy, did that hit me in the face. So I found out very quickly I was in a realm I didn't belong in. And the young lady didn't have any menstrual products with her. So I provided those products for her. I left there and never thought about it again. And now here we are many moons later, because I remember I was 18. And this $50 was given to me. And one night in the middle of the night, I sprung open in my sleep and I remember that girl. And I thought to myself, what could I do to help her? And I was like, period. How do I take $50 and get it as far as I can? I'm going to make some kind of period pack to make these girls feel dignified their weakest moments. So I reached out to the professor the next day and I said, hey, Professor Hagedorn, I have an idea. And he said, what is that idea? And I said, can I reach out to my community of women to help me? And not only did my sisterhood come through, my brotherhood came through as well. And I ended up with the stuff to make 1,250 of them. The money he gave me only allowed me to make 22 of them. So the rest came from my community.
Wow. So Val, if you had $50, I mean, this is a magic trick in terms of what she did. And it was the remembrance of a previous experience that came to her in a dream, basically, to wake her up and say, here's the idea for you.
Absolutely. And I just look at that and the wheels are spinning on how we could challenge our key clubbers to come up with great ideas and be able to move forward. And so when you're talking about all of a sudden you realize that you have to reach out. What was the first thought for you? Because I think for me, it's money or to match. I don't like asking people for money right away. And so when your people stepped up for you, were you shocked? Were you surprised?
I wasn't.
How'd that feel? I'm just looking at you going.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
I do tell you that so after I posted it online, I have a substantial following, and I'm very passionate about this. So after I posted it online and I put some stats on period poverty, I included the link, the Amazon link that I had created, and strangers were sending me things. I went on a lot of Facebook groups that are women oriented and posted it on there and asked them for help. So I was receiving stuff from not only within my circle of people, but from people I didn't know. And for once, I felt like all the love that I've dumped back into this community since I was 18 years old, no matter where I go, when my feet hit the ground, I intend to make impact. So all this love I had poured out was finally pouring back in. And sister, I was very humbled. I was very humbled. There was many times packing those period packs that I cried. I evangelized to the girls in those packs. I give them 2 pads, 2 tampons. I give them feminine wipes. I give them lotion. I put a little pocket hug in there. And then we put a little bottle, a little inspirational message in them. So that even at like their worst times, they know that there's somebody there who really does care. They may never meet me. I may never meet them. But if I can impact one out of 1,250, sister, I did my job. So
I have to share something with you, and that is, until reading about you and what you're doing, it never dawned on me this concept of period poverty is in the United States.
So many people say that.
The only kinds of concept that I've ever dealt with this is by helping out in other countries, mostly South American and African countries, but never, ever thought about. We have young women and women across this country that are dealing with this issue, and it's something that we all deal with.
If you really dig into
So
this,
thank you.
yeah, if you really dig into the stats of it, it is staggering. And to think as a woman, I mean, we are born this way. We don't have a choice. And so many things are freely available. And this is something that I don't think people think about. 1 in 4 girls fail school between the grades of 6 and 12 because at some point, because they didn't have menstrual products.
It's Val, you kind of touched on it there for a second, and that is, in the world of Kiwanis, we're so used to hearing about the need for food or homelessness or whatever all the major causes are that Kiwanis always steps up to, especially when it affects children in community. And you said it as plain as day as could be. Period poverty is not something we think about, not something that we realize is almost epidemic proportions outside of the United States. And here, and I'm saying this because I'm learning this because, I slept at a Holiday Inn Select last night, so I'm now a board member of the Sisterhood Project. You know what I mean? So I'm learning about the statistics on all of this. And what is crazy is, yes, it's a problem here in the United States, but it's epidemic proportion in third world countries. And as we hear more of the story, you'll hear what else the Sisterhood Project is expanding to help these girls not only take care of their health and provide some dignity, but education and training for other things. So, I mean, this is not even scratching the surface, but you're right, Val. This is brand spanking new of a concept because we're only so used to hearing the normal traditional issues within a community. And now here is this project that started $50 in a prayer to the point where it is now in 9 months an international program. I can't stress that enough, how exciting this is, that being part of this for these ladies across the globe, not only locally, and what we're doing here is just tremendous. And I hope everybody out there watching, you can search the Sisterhood Project on Facebook. The Facebook link is crawling across right now on the bottom of the screen. You don't have a website up yet, right?
No, sir,
No,
I do
not yet. It's in process. I know that, or it will be, right, Eli? Right. But anyway, so check it out because there's also a link to Amazon for the wish list of items that you can make purchases, have it shipped direct to Laura or whatever the contributions are, Amazon under the Sisterhood Project. There is a QR code on the page that, had I thought about it yesterday when I put the promo up, I would have copied it and put it in the promo. But just search the Sisterhood Project and you won't go far without finding stuff. Anyway, I digress. I'm sorry. I get passionate. What can I tell you?
Oh no, that's the whole point about this. It is when we have guests like you, we want to make sure that this goes far and wide, and be a part of the solution. We want to be a part of the movement, and that's what this sounds like. It is an absolute movement that's going to change a generation of women's lives. And so, when you shared that one in 4 girls fails out during a critical time in their life, what other kinds of statistics do you have that you just want to blow our minds with? Because you have that look. There's so much you want to share, and I could just babble at you because I'm sure.
So a few of the so I've learned country for country all of the different things that come with periods, things that I never knew or would have thought of. But here in the United States, 61% of the women in poverty claim that there's some time within the duration of a physical year that they cannot afford menstrual products. 21% of that 61 say they cannot afford them on a monthly basis. Also, So period programs or period products, depending on the state, are supposed to be provided by the school. Virginia is one of those states. However, when you have poverty-stricken Title I schools, all of their additional funding is being used to educate these children extra, as you know it should be, but they don't have funding to provide. So the schools that need it the worst don't have the funding for it. Because if you don't have parents in the area that can donate that stuff, which a lot of times, again, 61% of the women in those areas say that they cannot afford menstrual products at least one time a year. So we already know that we're looking at a crisis with the money portion of things. And now you have a school that is already struggling to academically keep these children where they need to be. So it's like a fine balance. So you can't always necessarily ask the parents to donate, because maybe what if they don't have the funding? So let's just take that part out of it. Like, let me come in, let me give you the stuff, let me get my people together. I have such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful group of people, sister. And if it was not for the people in my life, I would not be able to tackle or accomplish a quarter of the things that I do. So my resources are so valuable and so good. I have 3 men on my board. We're talking about periods. I mean, that's huge.
That's because I thought she was talking about a punctuation mark. I got confused. I said, I'll come along. You know, it's okay.
It'll be all right.
All right. I had a lot of question marks after that, too. Let me say that.
A whole lot of other punctuation.
A whole lot of other punctuation marks. So let's step aside for a quick break. We're running a few minutes behind. I want to make sure we'll leave it there. We'll come back. We'll continue the conversation on the importance of this and the statistics and what else is being done. You're watching Kiwanis Connects. Laura Halcomb here, Sisterhood Project. Doc Val there. John in Vegas. You, wherever you are, that's where you are. So don't go anywhere, because we need you there when we come back from break. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody. Aaron Phillips here from the Kiwanis Connect show. Are you trying to recruit for new members? Do you have a huge event coming up that maybe is your biggest fundraiser of the year? But you need to do something different to let people know that it's happening. The same old gives you the same old routine and results. Well, we've got an idea for you. The Kiwanis Connect show offers the opportunity to have customized commercials created to help your club get your message out. And you know what? One of the extra wonderful points of this opportunity is we provide it as a fundraising opportunity. For every $50 donation for the commercial goes to the Rose Float Kiwanis Club. That's right. The very same Rose Float that we see on television every New Year's that represents Kiwanis International will now be supported by these Kiwanis Connects commercials. So if you want more information to get involved, just drop us an email at kiwanisconnectsinfo@gmail.com. That's kiwanisconnectsinfo@gmail.com. Get your 30, 60, or 90-second customized commercial today, and let's help the Rose Float Kiwanis Club continue to plant its seeds for success.
Sometimes I'd like to smack old age right in the kisser. Ow!
I always get the best parking spot.
I think she needs a little more help.
Monday?
What I really need is a boyfriend that can drive at night.
I can make a fashion statement out of anything.
I will be fabulous.
I have a little crush on my pharmacist.
With Comfort Care at your side, you can live your best life possible. We know families can't be there 24/7, which is why we can help with as much or as little home care as you need. From medication reminders and meal prep to everyday chores and errands, so you can live in your own home on your terms.
I wouldn't let aging stop me from being me.
Call Comfort Care now and let us create your personalized care plan and find the perfect caregiver match.
Can you show that number again? She was texting.
Together with Comfort Care, you can both live your best life possible.
All right, welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. By the way, I failed to mention that coming up still, of course, Melissa Atwell will be with us with her weekly message. It is Mental Health Awareness Month. So, of course, Melissa has her message for us. We have Val's wow moments, like, hey, we got an internet connection. That's a good wow moment for Val. And, of course, bad dad jokes. Hey, it is Memorial Day weekend. So, first and foremost, celebrate smartly and safely and enjoy. But of course, I have summertime bad theme jokes, bad dad jokes. And Laura's got a couple of jokes. She's ready. She's fulfilled her homework assignment. But let's get back to it. Let's get back to what's going on here with Sisterhood Project. So, what other statistics would you like to wow Val with that we know about with the Sisterhood Project?
So, when I expanded out to the Philippines, someone was dropped in my lap, pretty much. So I'm involved with an orphanage of deaf young ladies in the Philippines. And we quickly learned that they do not use tampons. They are not educated on how to use tampons over there, and they only know how to use sanitary napkins. So that was very enlightening to me. So that's one of my favorites, honestly, about that area. The other statistics, they make me disheartened and a little physically sick. So they just need our help over there. And then in Uganda, the ladies over there are not allowed to, A, they don't have any disposable products. And B, the men are not allowed to see the women products. So we are in the process of creating a system over there where we can do a few things. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, in a few. And so we had to add that to the fact that, like, hey, we didn't know. And then water tanks and all these things to bring utilities to make this happen. And so I'm learning so much along the way, and I get to sit on director meetings with these organizations that are global, and I get to listen to the people on that side, and I can really feel it's when you're connected to the people who you're helping, I feel like you might not know them on a personal level, but it gives you a different kind of drive and understanding.
Well, it provides commonality. Whether you've met in person or not, you just have that common bond that will automatically bring people together. So I think that's only natural. But you also have to have the passion and compassion, as you do, to welcome that into your life, to say, hey, I have the passion. I love helping people. I'm a people person. What can I do to better your situation? And because of that, your compassion and passion for situations, you've been able to surround yourself with the people to make a difference for those people who can't make a difference for themselves.
Correct.
And I think that's a big feather in what you're accomplishing with the Sisterhood Project. I don't know of any organization in 9 months, but then again, I've only been involved in organizations, Val, probably like you, that have been around a while, not really from the beginning of a lot of things, to make this kind of impact in 9 months, and to the point where you just went from taking $50 and putting together 1,000 period packs to now you're helping orphanages, and the whole nother avenue is now there's another nonprofit organization locally that she's working with that just purchased land out there to build a school on that they're getting involved with to teach these skills in 9 months. People, I mean, it's just breathtaking. So I'm just jumping ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I really want to make some linkages because I think that several people are if you're supporting a food pantry or a camp, or you're supporting a Title I school, this is a perfect, easy monthly project that you can do of supplying these period packs to the students that are there. And I would also say that you probably need to outfit the faculty office because teachers are on a limited salary as well. And so just making it part of the normal daily hygiene that these things are available to you. And they're not as expensive as people would think, but if they're not available, they're not available. And so you talked a little bit about the kits that you do. And so how do you feel, what would you for a newbie like me who wants to make sure that the local academy down the street has this available to them? Because I live in an area where I know that there are a number of even homes with single dads that don't know how to deal with this. And it's a lack of information and education. Go ahead.
I would love, 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 love to pull data, find the Title I schools all over the place, and send these, because I've had Girl Scouts reach out. I mean, I have the manpower to pack the bags. I have that. I have the knowledge to do the research. If not, I can find somebody with it. Because again, I have wonderful, wonderful people in my life. Where it is at for us is to continue to get the products in. They are $2. What did we say?
About $2.12 or
A
16
pack.
cents, something like that.
Per pack. So, how I pitch it a lot of times is I just tell people a box of tampons off of Amazon are $21.
Mm-hmm.
100 tampons come in that, and you are impacting 50 girls with one box of tampons for $21. And you are giving someone hope at the lowest moment in their life. The embarrassment that comes with it, for being a young lady, I mean, I can't, being the period queen, I'll say it, we've all had an accident on ourselves, right? And if you're not in the place or time where you can have, I mean, it's embarrassing. And I could never, ever.
It's demoralizing. And yes.
Yes. And I would love to eventually educate boys. Attack like the young, no, I don't want to say attack, but like get in with the young men. I want to make little solid black bags that this is actually one of Eli's things, make the bag solid black, put the stuff inside and put an information pamphlet in it. So that way it's not something that's so foreign, because this is normal. This is something that we as women have no control over. And I mean, they're using cloths, wash rags, toddler socks. I mean, if you dig into this deep, this is a very big, big issue. Young lady rolls a toddler sock. I mean, the infection that can come with that. So if she doesn't have money for $9 tampons or $12 or $15 tampons, mom doesn't have the money for the copay to go to the doctor to treat the infection. So that problem could just keep growing and growing and growing.
It's interesting that you mentioned the father side of it and the solo dads. Here in the Virginia Beach area, we just were introduced to an organization called the Fatherhood Foundation, which is a national organization, but there is a chapter that just started here in the Hampton Roads area. Kevin Tremper is the local coordinator, would be his title. And those of you on these airwaves, you'll be hearing from Kevin direct in the coming weeks, whether it's on Kiwanis Connects or Aaron's Hour or the Voice of 757. We'll get Fatherhood Foundation out there. But there's already talk between both of the organizations to do exactly what we've just laid out, to educate the male side of the population when you have daughters what to do. So it's already in the works. So any Kiwanis club in the area, look for the Fatherhood Foundation in your area as a connection. And if you can't find one, let us know. We'll have Kevin jump on it and we'll get you in touch. And certainly what we're doing here with the Sisterhood Project is a duplicatable system that, if it's a simple project somewhere else in the KI world, then let's do it, man. Reach out to Laura. And before I forget, give some contact information besides the Facebook page that people can get you at.
Okay. Even if any of the other Kiwanis chapters wanted me to come in and do a presentation, I would be honored to do that.
Absolutely.
So as far as getting a hold of me, you can email me at the sisterhoodprojectva@gmail.com. Or I'll just put it, it's on the internet anyways. My cell phone number is where a lot of people contact me at. 407-873-4564. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, any of those places. You can just look under Laura Halcomb, HALCOMB.
And worst case scenario, if you miss all of that, obviously go back and watch the episode again, or you can always just email me at aaron@thevoiceof757.com. and I will get you in touch with Laura as well. So whatever's easiest. I just put the Laura's email address in the chat. John can drop it into the crawl at the bottom of the screen, so we'll share it with everybody as well. That'll be the easiest. Or on Facebook, just search for the page, and you can communicate and comment there as well. Okay.
I just want to share one
So Laura, we're headed to the Philippines in a little over a month to have our international convention, and we're in Manila. And so you mentioned a school that you're working with. If we each were to put a box in our luggage and have it delivered, would that be something that you think would be useful, or is it much better to do something more organized?
I am sure there is something that we can do.
What would be the best way to deal with it?
That's something I would run by Joe, which is my olive branch into the Philippines. He is the one who is the director of the orphanage there. So that is a great question. I love that you asked that question, and I will find out an answer for you.
And then we'll forward it along. We'll forward it along, and hopefully, maybe if worst case scenario, by next week's episode, we'll have an answer. We could share that on next week's show as far as what we can do for all of you going out to Manila in a month.
I would love that. That would be so
absolutely
exciting.
So it's like everybody who is going to be meeting up in Manila, stay tuned, because what you take over there leaves space for you to buy presents and bring them back. So don't worry about overpacking.
Yes, I love that idea.
Absolutely.
I wear an extra large shirt for anybody at Kiwanis International Convention. You can bring back a couple of hats.
Yeah,
anyway.
maybe.
Absolutely. No, but we'll get an answer for that for next week's show. So that'll be a nice tease to make sure you tune back in.
Absolutely.
Watch next week.
Absolutely.
All right.
So Aaron let out a little information that you're starting up a school. So Aaron, talk more. Get this ball rolling.
I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to let her talk about it. It's her school. I'm just along for the ride.
So I joined up with a beautiful lady in the area. Her name is Stephanie, and she was just dropped into my lap. And she is so compassionate and so passion-driven, like I am. She went over to Uganda, and there were some people in some trouble, and Stephanie was the unsung hero who went in and saved them with her personal funds. So after that, she started an organization called CCA,
which stands for
Compassionate. Aaron, no, I think Compassionate Care Advocacy.
Yep, that's it.
Boom! She would be proud of me. She'd be proud of me. So she came to me, and we started talking, and she was like, well, we can't really use that, like your idea, like we don't have any disposable products. I would love to use your idea, but I don't know how we would do it. So as the conversation continues around the round table, Stephanie comes up with this brilliant idea that we can make reusable pads there. So it was around my birthday. So I reached out to, again, my community, and got $600 to give back to, not only some of it was to be used in the local community, but I gave the portion of it that was meant for staff to staff. And we took that money along with some other money, and we bought a piece of land with a building on it. And the building is going to be an economic resource center, because over there, women are not taught how to live independently. So I am going to find a way not only to educate them, but we are going to teach them life skills. So we are going to get sewing machines and generators. We're going to teach them how to make these products. I've teamed up with another American-based organization that has a village not too far from the village that I am involved with. And that American-based organization is willing to pay for those pads. So I will then send the money to my girls. I will teach them how to finance and manage their funding. We will teach them life skills with sewing. If any of the girls need any additional ministry work or anything like that, I've got someone involved to help with that. I have got a financial planner involved to show them how to
manage money.
Yep, down to a friend of mine's mom who is retired and just loves people. She's going to teach them how to sew. So again, it all goes back to humbly my people. I'm just so grateful for them. And the fact that they all jumped right in, like, all right, Laura, okay. And with them believing in me, it pushes me harder. And I want to educate those women. I want to give them a better life. Now, my favorite part about the village in Uganda, just real quick, is one of the homes is full of widows. And I am a widow. So I think that I understand those ladies on a level that no other player in this ball field understands. So we can put all the bright minds at the table, but unless you put bright minds at the table that have had the same kind of shocking reality, it's hard to fully grasp and understand. And I know when I became a widow, I was a widow with a voice. They're not. And that makes them driven even more. So we're going to teach them all kinds of great things, teach them how to grow oyster mushrooms and sustain. We're going to do a bee farm and do some honey. So yeah, that's my next stop.
And then we'll see this little village part of NATO.
Well, I just think that this ties in really well with our Kiwanis Without Borders.
Yep.
And being able to and be hands-on and helping with some of the things that you do. But also we've got connections in Uganda with Jenna Dare, who is working on eradicating sickle cell anemia. And so many of those women are probably going to be afraid. So being able to have them be educated by maybe having Jen come in periodically when women are in their 8th or 9th month of being pregnant, where she can share that there's one very simple thing they can do to make sure their child doesn't grow up with sickle cell. So we can tie this all together and give you even more resources, because it sounds like you are a Wonder Woman, absolute Wonder Woman.
What I'm going to do after the show, after we get off the air, I'm going to go on to the Sisterhood Project page. I'm going to grab the QR code for the Amazon link that the Sisterhood Project has for their wish list. I will put that on the Kiwanis Connects page, as well as my personal page. So in the interim, whether it's planning for the Manila trip or people as they're listening to the story just want to start doing stuff, they can at least respond to the Amazon wish list. So we'll have that there. John Brummer, good to see you in the chat room, buddy. Long time no see out there. Glad you jumped in there. So we'll start sharing that as well, and then we'll do our homework so that we can next Friday's show have the answer about what to do for the Manila trip as well. So it's just nuts. I do want to share, a couple of Fridays ago was the very first, what do we call it? Disco for Mission?
Groovin for a Mission.
Groovin for Mission. And it was a gala event for the Sisterhood Project. It was disco themed. Yes, I had my platforms and bell-bottom shoes on. I had my pimp hat on. No wig though. The wig was worn by somebody else in the crowd. Eileen was dressed in the 60s, 70s bell-bottom flower child. But the reason I bring this up is because for a first-time gala with about 50 people, give or take a few here and there, the net result, we had a paddle raise, we had raffle prizes, right? What else? Ticket sales, obviously. The first event race netted $7,500. And that was well beyond what Laura expected and was hopeful for. And some guy named Aaron Phillips was the MC for the event, so he made sure everybody paid up at that gala. So when you have a first-time event kicking off, raising and netting that kind of money, you know that this project is destined for great, great things. And I'm just proud to be part of it. And just to see the success in such a short order time is really, really, really a great thing to have. All right, we're going to step aside for a quick commercial. By the way, not only is it Mental Health Awareness Month, but it's also Stroke Awareness Month. And John Brummer, who's in the chat room, thank you, John. Appreciate that. Styles, if you can bring up the stroke PSA commercial. I know it's last minute, but you should have it there in the inventory. We would greatly appreciate it. You're watching Kiwanis Connects. We still got a lot to do and only about 15 minutes to do it. So don't go nowhere. You know what I'm talking about? We'll be right back. I don't know where this came from, but it did. Some estimates say that someone in the United States has a stroke every 40 seconds. Rocky, please share with us your experience.
Aaron, as we all think we are invincible, after playing baseball for 12 years and never missing a game, I had a stroke while I was umpiring. It put a new perspective on life for me. No more golf, bowling, dancing, or most importantly, playing catch with my grandchildren. Please listen to your own body warnings. Pay attention and watch for your family and your friends. Watch for those warning signs. You are not invincible.
Derek, what are some of the symptoms and signs we should be aware of?
The simple rules to remember: the be fast rule. Balance, beware of loss of balance. Eyes, check for vision loss. Face, check if one arm is weak or numb. Speech, listen for slurred speech. Time, call 911 immediately if there's treatment available if it's within 3 hours.
John, what are some of the resources that folks have available for them?
There are several stroke support groups available to stroke survivors and their caregivers. Many of the stroke support groups you can attend can be accessed on your computer via Zoom. The stroke groups we support are located at the bottom of your screen.
This message was proudly brought to you by the following: the Kiwanis Club of Laguna Elk Grove, the Kiwanis Club of Oakland, and the Kiwanis Club of Palo Alto.
If you want attention, you need more than an ad. You need a presence. Welcome to WWDB TV, your internet streaming TV station built for business and people. We create high-impact commercials and video podcasts with pro production. Then we help distribute your show where audiences already watch and listen. Your brand, your story. Broadcast ready. On streaming, on social, and beyond. Ready to be seen? Visit www.dbtv.com and book your production today.
The Centennial Internet Kiwanis Club is pleased to announce that we are currently accepting pre-orders for the newest manufacturing run of the giant 8-foot-high Kiwanis logo inflatables. New this round, we're accepting orders for Action Club, Circle K, Key Club, and Kiwanis designs. At $625 per unit plus shipping, these inflatables are easy to set up, display, and store. You can order them online at centennial-internet.club today.
All right, welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. John, if you can bring up that flyer real quick that I just asked you about. All right, I bring this up. Back 9, grand opening, Great Bridge here in Chesapeake. These folks are opening up this indoor golf simulator. They are members of the Chesapeake Kiwanis Club, and starting in June, Doc Val will be official new advertisers on Kiwanis Connects.
Very cool.
Thursday, June 4th, 4 to 7 p.m. As I said, Great Bridge is brand new 24/7 indoor golf. Yours truly is going to be hosting the event, located at 500 South Battlefield Boulevard. Now, I bring this up because on the right side of the screen, you see 3 pyramids of memberships. These are founding memberships that these discounted prices for these memberships are only going to be good from now through the grand opening. Once June 4th passes, all those packages go back to their regular prices that you see there. So jot it down on your calendar. Thursday, June 4th will be the official grand opening from 4 to 7 p.m. Back 9 in Great Bridge. They are on Facebook. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. I'll talk more about that on Aaron's Hour. Okay. Val, I'll turn it over to you for another question or two for Laura before we move on to some of the other pieces of the show.
Well, Laura, as I'm looking at everything about the sisterhood, how do we join the sisterhood?
Volunteer. I would love to, if we could get, like where you're at, if I could get reps in different states and cities. Sister, I would love that. I that's how we could grow and make it grow and bring more awareness. Because now if your voice tags in with my voice and then we get another woman's voice to tag in, we could become very big very quick.
So it's just a matter of, it's not like there's a membership to join the sisterhood. No. There's no financial membership. It's just wanted to be part of the movement. And so, yeah, it just sounds like, to expand the project, obviously Laura can't be in all the states coast to coast. This is her project. She would love it. I don't know who would then run the 2 businesses that she owns, but that's another story for another day. But yeah, it's just to expand the project into other areas, whether it's via Kiwanis. It doesn't even have to be Kiwanians. Anybody that wants to support it, men or women, yeah, I would just say reach out to Laura and she can help construct. Like Doc Val, knowing you, and I know how your wheels are turning because I could smell the fire coming through the speaker system. Just get Laura, make arrangements to have Laura do a Zoom presentation. She's got the presentation with all the stats. Bing, bang, boom, bada bop. 20 minutes later, you got the Sisterhood Project flourishing in whatever community that she's speaking in. So that would seem to be probably the best,
I think you saw the flames coming out. My hair is getting wider and wider with flames.
Exactly.
And the presentation, whenever, wherever, just let me know.
Maybe even for convention.
I'm thinking that should be something that we should have on the agenda. But one of the things that, as I tie this all in, because my mind's going 8 million miles an hour, is with our Kiwanis International Foundation, they have a whole piece of funding that is for health and nutrition. And what more core health project to invest in and set up a chapter where there's the education for what you're doing than this kind of project. So I challenge the Kiwanis clubs that are out there that are looking for something that's really going to make an impact right away, is to think about putting together not just $50, but put $1,000 and have your district foundations match your $1,000, and then go for another 1,000 or 2,000 Kiwanis International, and start with that 4,000 core to be able to start supplying the period packs and supporting your organization in the local Title I schools. I don't think there's one Kiwanis club that's out there that doesn't have a Title I in their service area.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. I'm glad you mentioned that, Val, because here we are. We're talking about the ladies in the Philippines and overseas. But as I said at the top of the show, this is also a problem in our local community. So, as Laura mentioned, for that birthday money that she had, part of it was already earmarked for stuff overseas, but the rest of it stayed in the local community. So I want people out there to understand that the Sisterhood Project is not just doing this for those overseas. It's also for the local community. So I'm glad you said that, Val, because I want to emphasize that this is to help women with the period issue anywhere, local or overseas. It just so happens that the overseas part of this project took off like a bat out of hell because of this gentleman, Joe, and Stephanie, who got the land, and all of a sudden, we're running like nuts. But portions of the proceeds from the gala the other night are staying right here in the Hampton Roads community to help the girls that need it in the lower end schools in the Title I community. So I'm so glad you said that, because I want that point to be stressed. We're talking overseas, but this is really an issue everywhere, and it's going to start at home in your local communities.
And Title I schools are a good place to start.
Absolutely.
Because again, we already know
Absolutely.
that their resources are being used to provide, maybe IEP advocates for the children who are struggling, or additional push-in intervention teachers, or all these extra things. And there's not a whole lot of money even left. So it actually is in Maine. I did send it to a girlfriend in Maine, and even to the Kiwanians. If you guys want to send it to me, if you don't have the manpower where you're at, send it to me. Me and my people will love to take care of it.
And it'll be packed and it'll be sent under the name of the Kiwanis. Either we send it, we could send it out on their behalf under the name of that. Okay, absolutely.
Yeah. And then the only way it's branded is I put little stickers, you know how they look, on the back of each one. And then I kind of just let the girls take it from there. If they need me, they know that, there's the project right there. You just Google it. I've had high schools start reaching back out, again, needing more products. So we're going to have a pack party soon. So that's something I'll arrange, and just have my local people come together and pack them up. And then I would like to have my locals people, my group, disperse them as well this time. Maybe give, if there's 15 of us and, we can make enough, give each individual that comes to help pack them 2 boxes and give them 2 Title I schools. Or Coalition of the Homeless is another. Boys and Girls Club another area. This is such an issue. And both Joe and Stephanie told me that they had no clue it was even something until I came along.
Well, picture, if you will, this gentleman, Joe, who is a minister, right? Yes. Minister. And he's going around to local projects and communities here and even in the Philippines asking questions about periods. I want you to picture this. Picture a guy going around talking to women about their periods, okay? This is like stuff that a stand-up comedian would write about, okay? But the homework that Minister Joe did to really be able to fortify the project and work with Laura on this was really very encouraging, to say the least. And he's the connection that the Sisterhood Project has out there in the villages in the Philippines. So, all right, I got to change gears real quickly. This is not going to be the end. We're going to get updates and everything moving forward, of course. But I do want to switch to Melissa Atwell. I do want to make sure we get her message in, being that it is Mental Health Awareness Month. So, Melissa Atwell, Mental Health Moment, take it away.
Hi, I'm Melissa Atwell, here with your Mental Health Moment. Rest isn't reward-based. You don't have to earn rest. If you're tired, you deserve a pause. When your body's tired, your mind can't function. So listen to your mind and listen to your body. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
Thank you, Melissa, as always. I love her messages. How's the club, by the way? How's the new Mental Health Moments Club happening there, Doc Val?
Well, we are in that final wrap-up phase, and as far as being able to kick it off, but they had their first service project last weekend, and they're in the completion phase. We're looking for a couple more folks to round out our club, because we have a number of people all over the country that have said they want to be a part of it, but they haven't finished their paperwork. So hint, hint, hint. We need that paperwork finished. So maybe Laura would be a good person in this, because this is a mental health issue. So Aaron, if you could please have that conversation.
Absolutely.
Thank you. That'd be wonderful. And I wanted to do a mini wow, and that's because well, this has been a huge of things that have been going on our coast. And so I wanted to do a shout out to the Literacy Foundation. We've changed our name from the Kiwanis Literacy Club Foundation to the Literacy Club Foundation. And one of the things that our amazing Doug Chadwick has done, or Mr. Douglas has done, is he's been working with a lot of entities outside of Kiwanis, and he got a number of book boxes donated. So all these folks came in and they worked on individual book boxes. And so as clubs are starting, our organization is giving away a free book box with books as a starter kit for them to have their first service project right away. Because we've learned that, no matter how simple a club is or what they're doing, if they don't do service right away, they fail. And so by giving them a ready-made service project, it works. And that ties in really well, Laura, with what you're doing, because I think that if a club in the very beginning came together and got these packages, that was a great way to introduce themselves to their middle schools and their high schools. And it's a great way to partner with a key club, which is the high school level of Kiwanis, in being able to provide this, because no young lady should miss an interview. No young lady should miss a class because they can't afford to take care of themselves. So that's where my brain's been going. And normally I'm very eloquent and I'm funny, but not as funny as you guys, I'm sure, going to be. But thank you so much for being on our show today.
Thank you for having me.
By the way,
I can't wait to get to know more about you.
I didn't mention this, but Laura is also a member of the Chesapeake Kiwanis Club.
I am.
I wonder how that happened. But she is a fellow Kiwanian as well. So, all right. It is that time. We wrap up with a couple of minutes left for some bad dad jokes. But before I give you mine, as always, our guest is tasked with some homework. So Laura has one or two ready for us. So are you ready to share your one or two bad dad jokes?
Yes.
Go.
Why can't you trust the stairs?
Why can't you trust the stairs? Because there's always something up?
Because they're always up to something.
Always up to something.
Dun, dun.
That's
Always
right.
up to something.
Okay. All right. You have another one?
Why don't skeletons fight?
Why don't skeletons fight? Okay. I think I know the answer, but I'll save it. Go ahead.
Because they don't have guts.
They don't have the guts. Oh, my God. John, hit it. Let's do it. All right, here we go. By the way, I hope, last week in my absence, did John remember to play my bad dad joke video that I sent in, I hope?
He did.
Okay, good. All right. I just want to make sure. I was thinking about
So I
you, so I had to send it in. All right, here you go. You ready? This is all summer related.
No, it was
Where do surfers get their degree? Where do surfers get their degree? Well, of course, they get them at boarding schools. All right. Who do you call to clean the ocean? No, not the Lord. Lord will not clean the ocean. How about mermaids? Mermaids will clean the ocean. All right. Those will hit you later on. Those have an afterburn. So in about 3 hours from now, folks, you'll start laughing out of nowhere. Why don't seashells take baths? Why don't seashells take baths? Because they wash up on the beach. I think wash up, bath. Why? Okay. All right. Woo, tough crowd. What happens when ice cream gets angry? What happens when ice cream gets angry?
It has a meltdown.
It has a meltdown. Give it to the guest. Yes. Ice cream has a meltdown. That is very good. Hey, what do you call an anxious mosquito? What do you call an anxious mosquito? Anybody? Val? Andy? How about a jitterbug? Jitterbug. Anxious mosquito. Jitter. Okay, never mind. Okay. What can cause dry skin after being in the swimming pool? What can cause dry skin after being in the swimming pool?
A towel.
Oh, go to your room. That is correct. A towel is correct. Two more, and then we're out of here. What sits on the seabed and has anxiety? This is great for mental health awareness. What sits on the seabed and has anxiety? A nervous wreck, of course. Come on, a nervous wreck. Ah! And last but not least, last one, and then I'm out of here. Why didn't the sun, S-U-N, by the way, not S-O-N, sun, S-U-N, why didn't the sun go to college?
It was too cool for school or too bright for
It was too bright already.
No, those are not bad, but not the answer I have. Why didn't the sun go to school? It already had 1 million degrees. That doesn't. That doesn't. Bad
I got to tell you, I tried telling a joke this week, and people they didn't know if to laugh or not because I just don't tell jokes.
Which one?
Well, it was a short joke, and
you didn't tell
so
any little midgets, did you?
At first, they didn't know to laugh because Val doesn't tell jokes, and then all of a sudden, everybody started busting up, and I'm like, I promise I won't do it again.
Did they ask you if you needed? Did they ask you if you needed a mental health moment?
You probably were thinking it.
Yeah, right. Well, if you were telling a short joke,
it's
just stay out of the midget room.
We can't laugh at ourselves, right?
Absolutely. All right, Doc Val, let's wrap it up. Get out of here. We're in overtime. Laura, thank you so much for coming in, sharing the sister project story. Go ahead, Val.
It never ceases to amaze me how much we can learn and how much we can do to help other people. So, Laura, thank you for opening my eyes to something that I know that I could help with immediately. And I hope that people who are watching us, this inspires you and know that even though there's only 24 hours in a day, if Laura can run 2 companies and start up a whole nother business in Uganda, we can get off the couch and only watch 2 hours of TV and help somebody. So have a great Friday. Have a safe and amazing Memorial Day weekend.
Right on. Right on. All right, everybody, real quickly, a couple of programming notes tomorrow, 11 a.m. to noon, Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. Stephanie Corcoran from Freedom Lending. She specializes in helping veterans take advantage of their VA benefits when it comes to buying a home. So you're going to want to check in with that. And if that hour is not enough, take a 30-minute break because then at 12:30 local time, Cox Cable Channel 4, The Voice of 757. My guest tomorrow is going to be Tammy McGee. She started a nonprofit when her son was tragically killed by a non-insured drunk driver when he was only 16 years old. So Tammy will be my guest there. And if you missed that show, don't worry. Early next week, I'll be up. It'll be uploaded to our Facebook page, The Voice of 757. With that, everybody, as Val said, please be safe, enjoy Memorial Day weekend, and let's not forget the reason we celebrate Memorial Day, okay? I'll leave it out there for that. Everybody, have a great week. Be kind to everybody. Why? We're all we have. This show is adjourned.
All right, you're all clear.